Hello, everybody. How's your evening been so far? Good? Bad? So-so? Yeah, today is, I think today's been one of those, so-so days. I ran on the school treadmill today. You see, during PE, which is my third class, we usually go to a cardio room somewhere upstairs. I don't want to say it's upstairs. So basically in my school, there's the gym, and then you walk down the school halls, and then you reach an art room at the end of the hall. I think the art teacher's name is Miss Farrell or something. We pass through her class to get to the cardio room, and then the cardio room is at the other side of this door, at the other side of the classroom. So they have it's usually like a mini gym for our school. It has treadmills, it has bikes, not real bikes, like you guys know what I'm talking about, like those like the bike that you see in regular gyms. There's also some rowers, and pretty much a normal looking school cardio room. And yeah, usually every day except Friday, and Fridays we usually stay in the gym to play games, or a game. We only play one game. And yeah, every day we go to the cardio room, we do some warm-ups, and then we get on machines. On normal days, they do 3-3-3, which is 3 minutes on each of the 3 machines. I usually do a 5-5, meaning I'm on 5-5-5, meaning I'm on the treadmill 1 minute, I get back on the treadmill again for 5 minutes, and then again the rower for 5 minutes, and then I do 20 sit-ups, and I get to leave PE early because it's just part of my IEP. Because I can't really operate on some normal exercises like normal people can. So yeah, that's a thing. And during one of those 5 minutes on the treadmill, I did a bit of running, which I don't run on the treadmill that often. And even when I do, I'm usually really tired and out of breath and on the verge of fainting, so I usually don't do it that often. And apparently today I was in one of those moods, so yeah. I think I even ran for both times I was on the treadmill. And I was so tired afterwards that I had to skip the rower and then just skip straight to the sit-ups. Which, the sit-ups did not help. They only made me more fatigued. So, yeah, that's an achievement I can be proud of, but other than that, it's, pretty much been a normal day. And, tomorrow is National Ag Day, meaning we go to the grade school and we hand out candies to the little kids and tell them a bit about ag. I don't think I'm going to participate. I guess I'm just too lazy, I guess. And I don't think I have really a lot of ag attire, like any farm clothing on me, so couldn't really go even if I wanted to, because I don't even have the right clothes. I mean, I could wear my ag shirts. I have a few ag shirts in my closet, but other than that, I don't really have the proper attire, so I think I'm just going to have to skip that. So, yeah, pretty normal day, aside from the whole running on the treadmill thing. I also have a treadmill in my basement. My parents recently ordered it from Temu, and I used it just earlier, actually. Was on it for 5 minutes, took a break, and then walked for 5 minutes again. I did not do any running because, yeah. And the treadmill is good, but it's not great because for some reason the head of the treadmill is slightly slanted upwards, which is a problem because I've gotten so used to a nice flat treadmill. I mean, there is an option on the treadmill where you can, like, there's an incline option where you can get the end is slightly slant upwards, but I never use that option, so I'm not used to a treadmill that's slightly slanted upwards. But I'm getting the hang of it. It's a little hard, but I'm getting the hang of it. I told Dad about the incline issue, and he told me that that's kind of a good thing because it encourages you to work harder, which it did motivate me to work harder, except I was a bit more tired afterwards. And like I said, I'm used to a nice flat treadmill, so that kind of thing. So yeah, I have a treadmill in my basement. And sorry if I'm a bit late for recording this vlog, but my laptop had to charge. So yeah, I was like 10 or 20 minutes late. So I apologize for that. So yeah, but with all that out of the way, the main focus for this vlog is to tell you a bit more about Adelaide's story and things that I add to the current story. So I'm just gonna, skip the whole recap of We Deleted You because a lot of you probably watched that series already, or at least a little bit of it, or at least just enough to really understand the basics of what happened. So I'm just not gonna recap it. Y'all just have to watch the series yourself. It's like 4 minutes long, not 4 minutes, 4 hours long. So it'll probably take you a long time to get through the whole thing, but it'll be worth it. Trust me. It'll be. If you want to know Adelaide's story, that video will help. Okay, you could put that on while you sleep. You could put that on, freaking studying or something. I don't know what you guys normally do, but you could put it on sometime if you have time, if you have free time. I'm not forcing you or anything. So yeah, so for those of you that remember, Samantha Coleman, or Sam, as she calls herself for short, is the only person that that didn't delete Adelaide. So, yeah, that kind of thing. And you might have remembered how Adelaide died at the end. So, yeah, I get you, fam. That scene hit hard. Like, I cried when I saw that scene. I thought it was sad. But at least Adelaide got a happy ending. Or so we thought. Until I came along. Okay. Alright, so, yeah. In my version, Adelaide comes back, right? He comes back to her Wii. Because I guess it's one of those logics where Adelaide missed Sam because he has grown a little closer to her, so he decided to come back because he missed her that much, and so he came back, and Sam is all happy to see him. She's gone a little closer to him too, and so they hung out together. Not in real life. Adelaide was still in the Wii, and that kind of thing. And then one day, Sam went out with her mother to the store, and Sam thought about getting something for Adelaide, specifically a music box. So they went to the store, she bought the music box, and they were on their way back when they reached this bridge. And Sam and her mother, a giant truck was, rounding the bend ahead of them on the bridge, and the driver of the truck was drunk, and so he couldn't see Sam and her mother driving there, and so the driver of the truck accidentally dozed off. And in the process, he accidentally swerved. He swerved his steering wheel right onto the lane that Sam and her mother were driving on. And so the truck the truck hit the car. Bad, hard. And the crash happened near the entrance of the bridge, like right when they were exiting, because the truck crashed into Sam's car right at the end of the lane. So they were almost completely on the other side of the bridge when the crash occurred. So the car didn't land in the water thanks to that. Instead, it ended up landing on a nearby bank. So, and to remind YouTube, before YouTube decides to flag me for that story, this is just a story. It's not real. It's made up. So hold your horse, calm your horses, YouTube. This is just a story. It's not real, so calm down. Alright, none of this actually happened. It's a story. I mean, car crashes happen in real life all the time, so this isn't really any different, except it involves a me. So, yeah, Sam's car got crashed, and Edeled back at home. Meanwhile, with Edeled back at home in the Wii, he's just sitting there waiting for Sam to come back, when he suddenly heard police sirens outside and the sound of an ambulance truck. And they were approaching the side of the bridge where the crash occurred. And Edeled, for those of you that remember the We Deleted You series, Edeled can hear everything that goes on outside the Wii. So he heard the ambulance, and so he immediately got paranoid, worrying that Sam got hurt. And he jumped out of the Wii, which by then he had the power to jump out of the Wii and still in his Mii form whenever he wanted. How he got that power, I have no idea. I'll probably explain how he got out in a later vlog. But anyways, so he got out of the Wii, and he practically sprinted all the way from Sam's house to the crash site, which isn't too far, about, I don't know, 3 or 5 blocks away, which isn't really that far. It's like literally almost right around the corner from Sam's neighborhood. So the distance between Sam and the store that they went to is about 10 or so minutes away. So Edeled didn't have to run for long, and eventually he reached the crash site, and he saw all the ambulance and dozens of police cars were there to arrest the drunk driver, obviously. And I don't know if he was really seen or not, but he tried to stay hidden. And due to his, I guess, due to how dark his clothing was, because y'all remember that Edeled literally wears all black, and he kept himself hidden, and he slid past all the cops. He slid past all the ambulances, and he eventually reached the car, and he saw the body of Sam's mother still trapped inside of that car. And by then her mother was dead. Like, she was dead. Like, she was bleeding everywhere. Like, she had glass all over her. She was long gone. In fact, I think she died right on impact. The moment she died before the car fell into the bank. So right on impact when the truck hit her car. And then he saw Sam only 5 feet away, bleeding terribly and dying. And Edeled ran over to her, and he had so much hope that Sam was going to survive. But she didn't. She left him with some parting words, saying how much she cared for him as a friend, even giving him the music box and having him listen to it in her final moments. And then she died, right in his arms. And Adelaide sobbed his eyes out, just like any person would when losing a loved one. And later that night, he left, and he left Sam's town, taking the Wii with him. I don't know if he took Sam's Wii remote with him. On second thought, yeah, I think he did take Sam's Wii remote with him. And so, he ran away. And, by that point, he also gained the ability to shapeshift to do this light gray dragon. I might explain more on how people can shapeshift into dragons in my universe in a later vlog. And so Adelaide shapeshifted into a dragon, hopped the Wii and the Wii remote on his back, and then flew across the ocean. But at that night, there was a terrible storm, and so one of the lightning bolts just happened to hit like right at the center of his back. And then he lost balance and fell to the ocean. He thankfully survived, but was left thrashing and struggling for life while there was these terrible waves that tried to drag him down. But thankfully, he got to a nearby island in time. And, but he was weak from the thunderstorm, mixed with the ocean thrashing him around like a rag doll, and from the wound on his back. And he just collapsed. And then it's and then Koda, who is the spirit, who is originally the I might explain. And Koda, I'm just going to explain who Koda is now. Koda used to work with the main villain named Hatred, and was originally the spirit of harm and injuries, and causing physical harm to people, causing eternal scars. But he switched to good and followed the good side, and then became the spirit of healing physical injuries. And so he became a master of healing and medicine. And he happened to be living on the island, and he noted he was out on a stroll in the rain one day when he saw Adelaide collapsed on the bank. And so Koda took Adelaide back to his cabin, patched him up, let him rest for a couple days. And then after about a week or so in the cabin, Adelaide could go out again, but he still couldn't fly due to the injury in his back. So it took him another 3 weeks for his back to recover and for him to fly again. It was a 2nd-degree burn, by the way, which they usually take a while to heal. But while it might take a few months, or maybe even a whole year, for a human 2nd-degree burn to heal, since Koda is a mythical being, he can make injuries heal longer than normal humans can. So that's why it only took about a week or so for Adelaide's wound to heal. And then by that moment, Adelaide was still in complete shock and denial over Sam's death, and was grief-stricken, and he was usually numb most of the time, barely had time to process. And so, he even tried to, hopefully this doesn't get me flagged by YouTube. He tried to unalive himself a couple times. One time he tried choking himself, another time by drowning. Although, usually every time he tried, Koda would come in to save him at the last minute. Or at least at the drowning. The choking, he just turned chicken at the last minute or something. Or Koda found him, and Edeled immediately stopped the moment he saw him. So, yeah, so that's that. And once Edeled fully recovered and can fly again, Koda told him about another island called Mako Island, which is the main island where the story of Darkside X takes place. And Edeled went there. He met Golden Tail, which is the name of the main group in Golden Tail. I mean Mako. And yeah, that's Edeled. After finding these friends, Edeled grew happy over time. He's no longer so numb and full of grief. He was actually living a much better life. And yeah, that's pretty much where Edeled's story ends for now. I'll reveal the rest of his story in a later vlog. But for now, I believe this is a pretty conclusive, stopping place for a story. And, yeah, I think I'm gonna end this vlog here, because I don't really know if I have much left to say. And, yeah, I kind of want to go back down to the basement to play some Wii games, because I'm in a Wii mood today. So, yeah, hopefully you guys have an amazing rest of your night, and an amazing day tomorrow, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.